Perhaps you're alone, starting new music, you found that you want to make this thing work for you. It's your first time in the field and you don't know which way to go. Should I take myself a producer? How do I even find them? Or how do I even start producing? Or what should I even do with everything? I have uncovered a little bit about the similar topic, but I just want to address the real things and the real struggles and share a little personal story. So, hi, my name is Victoria. I'm a deep dark indie artist now. I have released 3 songs and I am creating my first album. My whole aim is to share my struggles and help others to make it easier for them so they can, live their life a little better and take music as a fun thing and something they really enjoy. When it comes to community, I created a Discord group where you can share your doubts, you can share your struggles, we can make more reachable goals. You can join the group, it's totally free. You can talk and really set your true goals so you can reach whatever you want to reach. Also, one exciting thing I'm also working on is a winter sale. You can get in my shop, this silentdream.com. I'm gonna make there are shirts you can customize, print whatever you want. You can buy yourself like a shirt, like a bag, or like some cozy pants, or a little cup where you can drink your water, a cute cup, whatever you want, or gift it to your friend or family member. The delivery is 6 days, but they're pretty quick and they're available in Europe. The discount code is also below, so use that when you shop in winter section. So get comfortable, take out your notebook if you want to keep some notes or you want to write something out for yourself if you have some ideas so you won't forget, because you matter, your music matters, and we want to make your music career work for you just as you imagine it. First, let's look at some common problems I guess I have come across. I think some people too. I think you can relate. Family members and your close people don't seem to know how to support you. Every time you share your music with them, they're like, yeah, 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 and sometimes some of them will say, you should do this better, you should do that better, right? This is your beginning, right? So they don't actually know how to support you. This is a pretty common problem and we will unpack it. There's this other part about not knowing and taking it seriously, like you're taking it so personal that you keep on insulting yourself and it somehow stops you. The third common problem is letting life get in our ways. And what I mean by that, the work, the relationships, you just live and you need to work, you need to do everything, you need to keep your finances, everything, and your music kind of goes in the background and you just don't think it's even worth it because you don't see there's anything there. And this other problem, of course, comparison. If they are so famous, why should I even try? And this is also a huge one. So let's unpack them and I will tell you my mistakes and how I would approach them, and we will find all of them a little bit more clarity to ourselves. I think you already know it, but the thing is, we need to repeat it, we need to write it down so we can make the changes in our lives that are stopping us from doing music. So let's take our first problem. So the problem is that we feel like our close people don't support us, or they somehow seem to do like meh. Like you don't feel like, oh, they really understand my vision. So there is this quote: your vision is not meant for others to see, only for you to believe. And that's the reality, that as much as you want them to see what you're doing, and you want to convince them it's not worth it, you just have to do your thing. Mind your business and let go of that you need someone to confirm it's good, especially when you're beginning phases. Which leads to second problem, not knowing and taking it personal. That can stop us so much. When you share a dream first time, people may say tons of different things. And most likely it feels like they're rejecting it because the thing is they can't see in your head. They only see what they have worked on and they only see what is possible. And maybe you have supportive friends and they're like, oh yeah, go for it, we believe in you. It's because they maybe have seen some artist grow to something that had nothing and now they believe that this is actually possible. And that's amazing. Like, I don't have such friends, but that's the thing. Like, even the silence is kind of like discouraging because, like, I rather have answers than someone being like silent. That's so creepy, right? You're saying like, "Oh, I have a dream." They're like, "Yeah, you can try," and you're like, "Yeah, I can try. I'm trying." And that's ridiculous. That's why, like they say, you should keep it to yourself. Like, do it like quietly, but same time I would say like nowadays don't do it quietly, like just share it or reach for help, learn your skills. Taking it so personally and that you think like, oh, I'm so bad at it, I can't do certain things that well. So not knowing can really like make you feel like maybe I shouldn't do it. But music I think should be something you do because it heals you. It makes you feel something. You're in some moment. I mean, however you wanna like explain it to yourself. So I think the good question also to ask yourself is like, what is music to me? Like, how do I feel in it? What do I want to do with it? You know, that's really important to know. Like, what it does for me. Like for me, I when I started like and how I decided I want to do more depth music was because I was writing songs and I couldn't stop, and I realized that music is like really healing for me. I just want to share something that's inside of me because I'm really emotional. I feel emotions deeply, and because I went through some things I can talk about certain things, and I think that's what I based on it. And I was like, oh, I understand now. And I was like, oh, I understand what music is to me now. It's something deeper. It's not just like I want to be famous, I want everyone to just look at me and stare at me because I have a good voice. I think this is not really a sustainable goal. So whatever you dream about it, you need to have a great goal about it, like a really specific. The other video I made was really specific steps how I would ask the questions for myself. But this certain one is just to give you a sense of belief in yourself and understand like what areas are stopping me and why. Example, have I stopped music and why do I view it as something that I need to be only famous? So let's make like scenarios. Maybe you are someone who likes to write poems, or you're someone who likes to play certain instrument. You maybe know that you're not that good in it, or maybe you're a producer or you want to be a producer and you're like, where do I start? And I think the first step is always like internalizing it for yourself. What is it to me? What can I specifically do? Should I take courses or something? Should I find some people who encourage me to continue going on? Because for me, that was so important, like finding something that pushes me forward, like following the things that actually encourage me other than make me feel more anxious of myself. And I think that's really important, like finding community or a place where you're accepted is really important. Although I didn't have it and it was just pure stubbornness of me doing it, but also it was pure passion that I found. And that's why they talk about, find your deep why. If your problem is that life gets in the way, then I think it's really important to understand you don't have to do music all the time. Yes, it's good when you do it every day. When you have to do the important things, when your family, something is happening, whatever it is, you can take a break and you can still come back and build your craft. Yes, you need to like do it every day, but maybe not every day. Maybe your music making is like 3 times a week, and that's fine. That's why the comparison can be a killer, because you're hearing like, oh, these people do it every day and I'm not. I'm not worth it. And that's what we keep on saying to ourselves. It comes to like self-esteem that we need to build little by little, because I think music shouldn't be like you only do it because you want it to be famous or you want only to get money from it. But I think music is something deeper. We can feel, we can live in it, we can actually, experience it. And I think it's a beautiful way to heal or do something with it. And I think we shouldn't stop it, because I think music is an art, it's a creative thing. Like, what do you need in your life? That's the question. What are the things in my life that I like that make me a fuller person? And if it is music, it doesn't mean if I don't get millions of views, if my music don't get like global, then I will stop. And that's what I think. Because I think music is something we should do no matter how old you are, no matter like how bad you are. It's something that just heals us. And that's what I really want to encourage, to do music even when it doesn't give you money, because it shouldn't be only about money. It's something you can find yourself. It's like in journal, you just journal your feelings out and you're seeing it. Oh, that's what I have been feeling. That's how I write songs sometimes. Like when I'm like ignoring sometimes some emotions, like you don't understand, you don't see those emotions, because there's a lot of things in life, right? You need to do a lot of other things also. So there are a lot of distractions, but nothing is made easy. So we need to fight with it. We need to continue it. And really, if you just want to make music to yourself, that's also fine. And sometimes you can share it with your friends, and that's it. If you're good with that, then you're fine. I think the big goals are amazing, but we should also be realistic that, if I don't succeed in 5 years singing and making music there, it doesn't mean I failed in life. I think we need to change the narrative, because you tried, you did your best, you had other experiences, which leads me to this other part, like really learning to enjoy the process and being in a moment, because music is actually that. I think if I know that I was in a moment and I really enjoyed it and I created something that came out of my heart, then I'm fine. If someone else likes it, good, you know? If they don't, I mean, I don't care, because that's what I created for myself. And I'm only creating it for those who want to feel it with me, who want to like express it or leave something out of them, or heal themselves with music in different ways. Also, there's this problem I see, like, where do you even put your money? Like, should I put my money making music, and like how much, and so on. I think you should put as much as you can, as you want, if that makes sense. Like, if you want to create a masterpiece or something great, or you want to buy yourself a hoodie or whatever you want to buy yourself, like, you want it to be good, right? So you're also creating as a product, let's say. You want to make it good. But of course, okay, in the beginning, it's a little bit hard. We just have to accept that we're not perfect. But we just have to also know when we tried our best, when we pushed all the buttons, and that's it. I can't do more now. That's my best. And I have to accept it at some point. I need to let go of the perfection of myself, because that is keeping you from like sharing your art, really connecting with other people, because music connects, We can connect through words, through melodies, and I think that's beautiful. What happened to me was I paid for the car, like I lived in Poland, like 500 zloty or something every month. I didn't know there's a chance that I could go somewhere and pay that amount and get the whole song. I didn't know that, because that was what was presented to me at a time, and when I met more people I saw more opportunities. So when you think of yourself, should I invest in something? Yeah, but when you see better options, definitely look for them. But if you don't and you think this is my way now, that's fine. But also what I did, I clung into it so long because I really wanted it to work, because I already invested in it. I was like, I want to get more songs out of it, and I didn't, and I was like, whoa, The good part was I got like experience, and experience is like the best thing you can have. It's just go out there, try it with people. Didn't work, change a person, try yourself perhaps, and see what you can do. And that's what I'm doing. I realize I have to make it myself now. I would really like to make it with other people, just haven't found the right person to work with my music. And that's okay when you do it yourself and it's a little bit more floppier or like a little bad. I try to like remind myself it's okay, we're getting there. I trust the process. I know when a song is ready. But right now, like all of my songs, I've started all of 12 songs of my album, and I know that, I need to somehow prep them up. So let's say you're a singer or you used to sing and you never released music, but you have written in your life, and you would maybe like to release like 3 songs or something because it looks quite interesting, and that's what it is. And you're just like, I don't know how to even do that. Like, if you know someone who does art, reach out to them and don't be afraid to be like, hey, can you make me a bass of this song? And know that if you put more money, you will get it. It's just an investment of something. I think everyone should have like one song for themselves, no? Like something I made for fun or something like that. It's just like a good thing to own, I think. Or let's say you started to produce, you can play piano or you can play like guitar, and you have written one song and you don't seem to get it together. Yes, you should look for someone. Maybe you can pay to someone to help you to make it real, or you could just make it this rough song and send it to artists. Like, find some artists, like you can put in Instagram, like, artists in Tallinn or something like that, location based example, if you want someone closer to you. But nowadays you can like even send a file through email, and that's how you can like exchange contacts and do the mixes. And I think exposure is also another thing that has helped me. If I put myself out there, more people see me. They see, oh, she's doing music, she's doing something producing. And when I vocalize that, I have problems understanding this, then people still somehow want to help. Pushing yourself out of your boundaries or posting sometimes singing or asking little help, does anyone know how to make music or anything like that. You may be surprised that your friend knows little bits about producing. You're like, when did you learn that? And they say like, I don't know, a long time I had a band. I don't know, I had to sing with one of my friends, and I was like, what? You had a band and you were literally making the whole album? And I didn't know it. And he knew how the whole process went. And this is also valuable because you don't know nothing, and it's good to know people who also did something, and you can learn from them and hopefully, finally release something your own. Also, a lot of people opinions may hurt you because you know that, oh, I just like to do music and I feel it is something that's just me and that's always been with me. I don't know if anyone can relate, but I think it's quite common to feel like, I'm doing music and everyone is like always pointing out like, oh, you should have done this better, like, oh, I see you're doing it. Like, that's the funny thing, your closest people have always something spicy to say, and that is normal. They are not your crowd. Some people may not even notice it to think, what should I even like do? Should I sing covers or anything? You should definitely think what you do. I have the video like specifically covering like how you should start as an artist in 2024, because there's a lot of ways and you need to journal, you need to write it out yourself, become specific, make small plans and become real with it. This is more like emotional talk we're having here, because to understand like the real issues and problems you may come across, because I also did come across with them, because you think like, if I take it seriously now, I will get it in few months. But the reality is there's a lot of nuances, there's a lot of things you need to do, and with social media you need to be active. With everything else it's just you and a ton of things, and that's what it is. That's why like learning to find your own systems, testing the things, calming yourself, and really starting to believe in yourself and work on yourself is a way. Because I've seen people like diving into something, and you have seen it too, that I don't know why it's a thing that if you're an artist you need to be addicted or something. And I think that's a real issue we should like address, and also show that we can be full sober, happy, and drink nothing, do nothing, and that's also good and fine. These people are usually alone, and that's why I really want to emphasize it, that they're not alone. Like, we are just really emotional, and we tend to like isolate ourselves, and we do it to ourselves because that's just what it is. Because it's so comfortable, and maybe we have some traumas or something we don't want to address with other people because we don't feel safe yet and we are not healed. I also want to mention this. I've seen like a good singers who wanted so badly to do music and they didn't succeed as they imagined, I guess. But that's the thing, if you don't know what you want to succeed, then you don't know where to go, which leads to, even if you try something, you're just doing something you don't know. If you get the idea. That's why like the specification of your dream is a good, and also understanding the reality of it. And also maybe thinking to yourself, maybe I can have the concept different. Like maybe I don't need to be the well known, but I can be good in it, I can enjoy it, I can share it with people I like, and that's also fine. And I do it because it's something that gives me energy, and I do it because it's something that makes me me. And I really want to like highlight that your mental health matters, and you need to really become your best friend, and you need to get along with yourself. Like you need to learn it, like try to learn it. It can seem so hard, like how do I even become my own friend? You know how you treat your friends, right? You're always nice, you, I don't know, give them gifts, and that's what you do to yourself. And I know it's like a big topic, and now a lot of people are doing it, but do it as you like it. Don't do it as everyone expects it to be. Do it as you want to be good. Because there's a lot of ways you can make yourself feel better, and everyone has their own ways with sadness and everything. It's just is there, it's a human emotion, and that's what has helped me to be like, okay, I cried, maybe I had like a really big existential crisis, but now I'm gonna still continue something I like to do, because now I respect myself. I still respect myself regardless of I was sad for hours, but you know, it was necessary. I let go of it, I let it be, because I understand now what I can do next. There's a lot of reasons why you might be sad. You didn't eat that well that day, you have no vitamins, you know, there's no sun in here, so only rain, gray weather, and that's maybe it. And I really believe that everyone is a human, that they go through these emotions, and everyone has their own coping ways, but definitely try to find a person or someone to talk if you don't know what to do. Not knowing is also not serving you, so maybe looking something or trying to find something where you can learn. Like there's a lot of videos, people talk about it, and I usually like to listen to some people and, you know, have some fresh mind. It's like an energy flow, like you get from someone who had a good feeling or someone who had learned something I needed to learn. And that's like important to feed yourself with all the greatness, because I don't know if you heard, it's like what you consume you somehow become. So it's like this theory that your five closest people, I only believe in it because of the fact that, you know, if you speak with them every day or if you watch something every day, somehow you're thinking about it, and you may even act like this. And sometimes that's why we ask, like, why did I even do that? Like, was it really me? You know, and maybe, yes, it was you, but it was somehow something we mimicked or something we have seen, and that's why we normalized it. So maybe that's something to think about yourself. Maybe I was all over the place, but I wanted to be more personal and I wanted to focus on like the feeling side of it, like feeling like left alone a lot, because that's like a huge thing for me, even though it's like coded in me, and it's most likely like generational thing to feel like this, and as an artist it can often feel like that. But if I look around actually and I speak with some people, I see that they are all feeling something, and that's a little bit humbling. So if someone has said to you something and you stopped doing music because you felt like you didn't really had everything and you didn't got everything you wanted, then maybe you can start again. You can do it again. Who says you have to stop? And that's what it is. Who says you can't do it? You can do it. Music is everywhere. You can sing everywhere. You can like tap your hands, you can tap yourself and you're fine, Who says you can't make music? Music is everywhere. If you hear it, the sounds, the stuff, and that's what it is. And no one is to say that you can't do it. You can do it. You just don't have to be like everyone else. Your journey is your journey. You're unique and you can do it. Even if you are not as talented as someone else is, even if you don't think you're as talented, talent is also earned and to be worked on. So your talent comes when you work on it. You work on it so long that you're like, now I'm master. You don't become master when you're born. Yes, really rare. Yeah, raw talent exists, but does it really? Maybe it's more genes or something that their parents did, and it's just went to them, and that's it. We're just not born the same way. Don't pretend to be someone else. Try to find what's really you, and sometimes question some behaviors because maybe this is not calling you, and that's it. Because even for everyone is in a way, you could say, pretending or trying to be good. Even the raw people started being really bad at it, and they just become better at it. And I know it's like a really bad advice, but it's just something you need to remind yourself. It's something you need to remind yourself and really keep up your spirit, because you're worth it. You can do it. I believe in you. I'm all about helping other artists too, and my whole goal with learning, producing, and taking you along with my album is just that. If you want to see how I felt doing a theme song, then you can watch it in here. And don't forget to support me, subscribe, and live your true music life as you want. I really need to think about the last words.